take a quick minute, and before we get into actual Savvy color, let's talk about two other pieces that are going to contribute big time to your color that you apply to your skin. Think about the inside out, because the color applied to your skin is only as good as the skin it's on. And I was looking at a handful of before and afters from different members in Young Living who have been in Young Living, utilizing the oils, utilizing some of the skincare, and looking at some of their supplements. And I was looking at those before and afters thinking to myself, wow, their skin before is actually really awesome. And so the before and after sometimes doesn't even look as drastic, and it caused me to wonder why. And it really is because of the skin it's on. So let's take just a couple minutes and talk about a few of my favorite products that actually contribute to great overall skin health from the inside out. Okay, first of all, Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red is amazing when it comes to all the antioxidants that one needs. This is incredible as you apply good things into your gut health, what it does to your body as a whole. So much is underestimated that goes on in our gut that contributes to our health on our skin and our overall health as a whole. But Ningxia Red is one product for sure that I know has contributed to good skin for myself. Some of my other cornerstone items that I use for supplementation is Master Formula, Sulfurzyme, which I know just got a makeover with the bottles, but Sulfurzyme has been amazing. Great for hair and nails too, skin, hair, and nails, the whole nine. And Multi-Greens. Multi-Greens is another awesome one. I don't know if you can see that. Multi-Greens is another really, really great one. In addition to these things, a big contributor, huge contributor, is water. Good old-fashioned water is so good for your skin. So be sure that you're drinking enough water, which is said to be half your body weight in ounces. So make sure you're drinking enough water to contribute to your health, which is going to contribute to your skin, which will contribute to how great your Savvy colors look when you apply them. Great. So now let's talk about getting the palette ready. We want to talk about getting your skin prepped and ready to be able to take on that beautiful Savvy color that you're about to put on. So washing your face is super important. Moisturizing your face, excellent thing to do. Exfoliating, another great one. So let's talk about this one really quickly. Washing your face basically is going to help remove the dirt and impurities off of your skin. I love our Art foaming face wash, which is awesome. We also use, especially the kids, we use Orange Blossom face wash, and we get a foaming pump and put a little bit in there with some distilled water, and it lasts a really long time. But I love the Art Foaming Face Wash. It's one of my favorites. Again, it's just going to take off the dirt and impurities that sit on the surface of your skin. Yay! We don't want that, right? Next, we're going to exfoliate our skin, and this is something that you can mildly do on a regular basis, on the daily basis. And your hand towel, your face wash, your washcloth is going to do a great job of exfoliating just a little bit on the surface. But at least a couple times a week, you want to get down and do a little bit more of that work. Kind of like when you go to the dentist and they do that really exhaustive cleaning, you want to kind of do that for your skin. And what that basically does is exfoliating, it helps to remove the dead cells that are sitting on top of your skin that just washing doesn't take off. So exfoliating kind of helps to flake the dead cells off of your skin, revealing nice, new, beautiful skin on the underside. So I really love our peppermint scrub, our satin facial scrub. It's amazing. It's invigorating with the peppermint. It's not too hard on your skin. It's really gentle. I use this one a couple times a week. It's amazing. But when you take that off, when you take off those dead cells, it's going to reveal beautiful, fresh, vibrant skin on the underside. And when you have nothing in the way of getting to those fresh cells, the fresh skin underneath, all the nutrients that you put on top of it in the name of essential oils or moisturizers don't have to navigate through all the dead cells to get to the good ones to do the job. So exfoliating on a regular basis is super awesome. Now, after you exfoliate your skin, it does take a couple of hours at least for the pH to balance again in your skin because of that invigorating that you just did. So this is where toner becomes your friend. Using a toner is a great way to restore the pH balance to your skin. Art Refreshing Toner to the rescue. This is a really, really great one. Sometimes what I'll also do is I'll take a nice warm washcloth that I've also added into the water a little bit of carrot seed oil and Aroma Ease, no, Aroma Life, the blend, into the water, and then put that washcloth on my face and just breathe that in, and it smells amazing. So now that we've cleansed, gotten the dirt and impurities off, we've exfoliated to get those surface dead cells off the skin, we've toned so that way we can provide our skin a proper pH balance to restore it before we do anything else, we can begin our next phase of nourishing the skin. There's a few great products that you can use to nourish your skin. You want to moisturize after you've put any serums or anything like that that you have for your skin. So Young Living has a few great products that are some of my favorites that I do use. But I also wanted to share with you one that's great that you can make. And I just took a roller and I added in coconut oil, a little bit of fractionated coconut oil, but mostly it's frankincense, lavender, and copaiba, which is really awesome, especially for under the eyes to just help lighten and brighten that skin there. Another great product that we have for serums is our Art Renewal Serum, which is amazing. This one has orchids infused in it. And orchids, if you know orchids, I don't have a green thumb, and so orchids are very difficult for me to grow, just like anything else. But they don't need to be watered. It's very easy to overwater an orchid because they do such a great job at retaining moisture that you don't need to water them very frequently. Well, take that same concept, throw it in a serum. Young Living did this for us, and that is something that's going to help retain moisture in your skin, which moisture is going to keep your skin healthy, and also it'll keep it a little bit more plump and firm, which is going to be wonderful. Another great product that you can use that I do like to use, I use this one mostly at night for myself, is our Wolfberry Eye Cream, which is so awesome, and it's rich and it's luxurious, and I put it right under my eyes and right even over my eyes up top. And when you're working around your eyes, make sure to use your ring finger, and the reason is because your ring finger out of all your fingers is the one that has the least amount of muscle firmness and control, and so oftentimes it's not your pointer finger, right? And it doesn't work as quickly as your little pinky finger. And what that'll do for you is it'll keep you from accidentally tugging on that skin, leading to more wrinkles and fine lines. Another awesome product for lightening and brightening your skin is the Chez Lumet ointment brightening cream, which is awesome. I use that one at night. And then your favorite moisturizer. So Young Living has a handful of moisturizers to use, but your moisturizer is the last thing that you would put on after this serum. If you imagine layering the products on your skin, you want to get the thinnest product that's got to go the furthest penetration into your skin on first, and then the rest lying on top. So some of my moisturizers I bounce between are Sandalwood Moisturizing Cream. I also use the Boswellia Moisturizing Cream. Really depends. Our family travels. We travel a lot, and I find that sometimes, depending on the climate I'm in, depending on the water that's being used, and depending on how well I've been eating and drinking, is depending on which moisturizer my skin likes best. But the Art Moisturizer is a lightweight moisturizer, and in terms of savvy success, this is one you want to have on hand because it's so versatile to use with the colors. And I'll be sharing a couple of tips coming up in just a second, right before we dive into our 5-minute makeover, and then a little bit of extended how to kick it up a notch after that. Do you like to use concealers? A great way to take your foundation shade and give it a little bit more oomph to get it on your skin to create some coverage is to first start with a moisturized palette, but then to also take some of your foundation, mix it in your hand with a little bit of your moisturizer, and then use a brush to apply it. Try not to use your fingers as much as possible. Using your fingers is going to just take the oils on your fingers and put them right on your face. So using tools is a really great way to make sure you're caring for your skin and giving yourself the best coverage possible. One of the tips that I like to remember is that when I'm looking at all my savvy colors, to see them as colors, not to see it as a blusher or a bronzer or a foundation or any of the like, but to see it as a palette full of colors. When you look at your Savvy colors this way, you'll quickly discover a multitude of uses that you can have with just a single product. Example, one of the things that I like to do is take some lip balm, get a little jar, mix the lip balm up with one of my favorite colors that's in the minerals. One of my favorite ones that I like to use is one of the blushers, just so that way I have a nice pink tint, so when I put on my lip balm, it'll have a nice hue to it as well, and I can be assured that the colorant used within that product is something that I can feel safe about putting on my body. So let's get started on this makeover. Quick, simple, easy is my everyday look. I do like to have something on my face. I feel kind of put together. Feel comfortable in your own skin going out without anything though, and I think that's really important to mention, that makeup shouldn't be a mask to make up who you are. You are beautiful, you are gifted, you are talented, and you don't need anything savvy on your face to prove otherwise to the world around you. But it does add a little bit extra confidence sometimes in just how we present ourselves. It's like getting up, getting dressed, and putting on nicer clothes because we're going to go make a first impression somewhere, right? So same sort of thing. I love to do my makeup every day, but I don't like to go crazy and take lots of time to do it. So what I'm going to share with you with my makeover is just my everyday look. It's just with a couple of items. I typically use 2 different foundation shades. I use a multitasker and a blush color, and those are the Savvy minerals that I'm going to share with you today. Okay, so we have a primed, ready palette to work with, all moisturized and ready to go. One of the things that you're going to want to do is make sure you're using your misting spray, as it's going to help to break down the minerals and sit more evenly on your skin. So I usually just give a couple brushes, a couple squirts to my brush. I get a little bit of the foundation right on the brush. You can see it kind of picks it all up right there. So I'm going to give it a swirl to evenly distribute it within the bristles. And you want to make sure you do this piece because it's going to evenly distribute, and then once it's on here nicely, it'll go easily on your face. So circular motions. I try not to stay too long in any particular area. I find for myself that I start around my eyes and I give myself a good coverage around my eyes. Sometimes with aging skin, I have some little fine lines and wrinkles that are liking to show themselves these days, and so I put a little bit more care in working around my eyes, making sure they're very well moisturized and that the foundation gets worked in very well around my eyes. And then I typically just start my T-zone, but the key is to get those circular motions going and to continuously, every time you add some foundation, you give it a swirl and get it evenly distributed on your bristles and then working it in. Now, a tip here with your foundation is you don't want that caked on look. So again, the way to avoid that caked on look is going to be twofold. One is to moisturize very well, but then also, as you're applying your color, blend light layers. So mineral makeup is meant and designed to be very buildable for coverage. So you can go back over your foundation several times if you want a thicker, more full coverage. I just did, you just saw what I just did, one quick layer, but swirling very well. And I really do like the way that it feels on my skin, and it's nice and light and fresh. I'm a warm 2 in the Savvy shades. So that's it for the foundation. So we're going to move on real quickly. I like to use just a little bit of, what shade is this? Dark 2, I believe. I'll double check it after. And I just get a little bit on this is the blush brush. I took an extra blush brush. And I get a little bit of the foundation on there. And this I'm going to use as a bronzer and also a mid-tone color. So when you think about applying color to your face, think about art class. And I know some of you were like, yes, art class. And some of you were like, oh my gosh, the worst ever. But consider a blank canvas. And I'm sure the concept will come back to you as I say it. And that is that where the white and light colors hit is going to kind of create the forwardness, you know, what comes forward to you in an image. Whereas where you put the darker colors is going to create shadow and shading. So we're going with the same concept here with applying our colors on our face. So what I would suggest you do when you bronze a little bit, there's a couple different ways you can do this. There's really no super wrong way. Everyone's face shape is different. What I have learned is a general rule of thumb, doing makeup for a long time, is just to, when you smile, where you see this where this indentation should be under your cheekbone, or where you want it to be highlighted and accented, where that shadow would fall, where you can see for me is right here. That's where you just want to kind of press in some of your bronzer. So I'm just doing a little bit on either side. Just a smidge. I don't want it to look like, I have brown streaks going up the side of my cheeks. So just a little bit. I got a little bit more, and sometimes I use my eyeshadow brush, but I'm kind of pinching this a little bit because I really want to show you what real life is for me, and sometimes this goes really, really quickly. So I just use whatever tool is in my hand, give myself just a little bit of depth there in the crease of my eye. And that is that. That's my mid-tone, and I'm all set there. Close it up. This was dark 2 was the shade that I used. Also, fun little side tip, you can take some of your darker foundation shades, and a lot of ladies, in the summertime especially, where you want to just kind of darken some of the color on your leg, like a spray tan, is take some of your darker foundation and you can even brush it on your legs a little bit, and that works fabulously. Okay, so that's that one. Little cheek color. I have another angled cheek color brush that I happen to have. Get some of my cheek color on my, okay, now here's, I'm glad I did this so you can show you. I got a little bit too much on my brush, so I'm going to kind of tap it off. I don't want, you can see how it's kind of falling off the brush there back into the jar. That's real important. You don't want too much on your brush. You still want to give it a swirl though, so it's even in there. The first place that you plant the color, you're going to get a lot of color unless you swirled it on your brush really, really well. So I'd kind of just brush it on, apples of the cheeks and going backwards. And I do both sides. And you can add, I was just going for a nice light color. Add a little bit more to my brush. And again, I could use an eyeshadow brush, but quick and easy and out the door, right? So I do a little bit. I chose a cheek color that I knew that I would like on my cheeks and my eyes for my quick, fast, simple makeover. I'm just going to add a little bit more to my cheeks because I went pretty light there. Let's see. There you go. Just a little. Just a little. But you can go deeper, darker, whatever you prefer. So now we're going to go with some multitasker, and that color, for those wondering, was Smashing. Very light, simple color. And then, where's my little brushy brush? Okay, got a little smudgy brush. It's like really thin like that. And we're going to get a little bit of our multitasker. The multitasker is great. You can use it for eyeliner, for a brow, for even little dark areas here you want to kind of deepen up a little bit. You can even do that. Okay, so I got a little bit on my brush. There's a couple things you can do. You can put it on dry, you can put it on wet. If you put it on wet, I typically like to spray a little bit of my misting spray onto my hand and then swirl it in. I'll show you that one in just a second. I'm going to do it dry first on my brows though, and so just get a little bit. Again, this is my quick, fast application. It's nice, it fills everything in nicely. No eyebrow expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I do like the difference that this does for me. It just kind of gives it a little evenness on there. So there we go. All right, so now I told you I was going to show you how to liquefy your powder liner to kind of let it go on. So I'm just going to take a little squirt of my misting spray onto my hand. I love to use my hands to mix things up. So I'm going to get a little bit of the powder on the tip of the brush and then just kind of mix it right in into my hand. See, now it's a big old mess. And then when working with your eyes, with eye colors, eyeliners, all the like, as time ticks, things like to droop and go down. Not a big fan of that, but that is what happens. So my encouragement to you is if you were to draw a line right here and right here, from the corner of your nose to the corner of your eye, you don't want to put anything outside of that area. It's going to naturally want to drop further. So err on the side of caution and keep things light and lifted. And that's how you do. I typically do dry when I'm in a rush. But I wanted to show you guys just how you can, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Just a little. You can add that depth to your eye, and it just is going to make your eye pop. A couple other quick tips for the eyes is that eyeliner on the top is a must. You don't want to just add liner to the bottom, because when you add liner to the bottom, it creates a heaviness down low. And again, that everything's going to want to kind of droop downward anyway. So you want to think lifting and light. So if you wear eyeliner on the bottom, just make sure you're also putting it on the top just to create that lift. Otherwise, that's where that tired, sad look can come, just because of not having it on the top. So this really isn't art. I don't know why when women do their eyes, we do it with our mouth open, like, right? So I got it a little bit thicker on one side. Got to kind of do the other a little bit. I think we're pretty good. Now I could go deeper and darker. This is just my quick, fast look. You can add some other colors and have some fun creating a more extravagant look. You can go from daytime to diva just by building on top of what you already started the day with. But we got to finish it up with a little bit of some Savvy lip gloss. I am not a big lipstick wearer. I do love our Savvy lipsticks. They're great. For my quick dash out the door type look, I love to use Maven. I think this is Maven. It might be Abundant. Here it is. I think it's Maven though. I can't read. It's too light. So quick touch up. A little bit here. And again, if you had your homemade tinted lip gloss with the cheek color with your lip balm, you could totally put that on about this point. And voila, there you have it. Okay, so why don't we just take this one and kick it up a notch, just really quickly so I can show you. Let my hair down, grab me some Mirage Shave Oil, which is awesome. Put a little bit in my hands. My hair's a little bit dry, and I want to just give it a little something something. And so typically I just stick to the ends of my hair. The longer my hair is, I feel like the more I just stick to the ends. Right now I feel like I kind of needed it everywhere. So I'm going to add a little bit of the Mirage Shave Oil to my hair, and that helps me out in the area of my hair. Got a little extra on me, so this stuff is amazing. Smells so good. So that's a little bit of Mirage Shave Oil, but let's kick up our color just a teeny tiny bit, shall we? I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a little bit more of my foundation. I'm trying to keep this with as few products as I possibly can for you guys, because let's be real, right? So this is the Dark 2 foundation that I'm personally using, and I'm just going to beef up some depth on my eyes here. Now, adding eye color, I do swirls going inward, not outward, because remember, everything's going to want to naturally fall. So we're going to bring it inward, especially with maturing eyes. My eyes have always been, I have a little bit more of what they call like a hooded lid, where it's a little bit thicker. So I go a little bit higher with my eyes, like that. And that just adds a little bit of something as far as shadow and depth and shape to the eye. Let's make sure we're even, because nothing's worse than uneven, right? All right. Here we go. Now I'm going to go back and add just a little bit. Oh gosh, I didn't flip this to see what color it is, so I'll have to come back and tell you. This is like a sparkly gray sort of color. Again, I can't remember which one it is, so I'll go back and I'll add that when I edit this video. So I'm just going to add a little bit and I'm going to press. You want to make sure that you've tapped off all the excess powder on any time you add color to your brushes. And I'm just kind of pressing it in, and I personally like for my eyes a little lighter towards the center and the depth of color towards the outside. This is when you can get real creative. If you look into eye shapes and face shapes as the best places to put it for your eye. Generally speaking, the outer half being a little darker, the inner half being a little bit lighter is good for most. If you have more close set eyes, you definitely want to lighten up the inner parts. If you have very wide eyes, you can get away with darkening it up all the way around. Again, you're just playing with illusion. You're playing with color, just like art class. Okay, what color was that? That was Determined that I just put on. And then I have one more thing that I like to do to my eyes is I take the Diamond Dust, which is amazing, and I mixed it in the wrong lid. It would help if you kept things neat, Kristen. Okay, little Diamond Dust, get it on another brush. We got quite a bit on there, see that? And I'm just gonna kind of press that in to the center. And just kind of lighten that a little bit. Makes me feel sparkly. Makes me feel a little sparkly. And then a nice big floofy powder brush. Get a little bit on there. Mix that one in too. And just kind of do one of those. Heck, if you really wanted to have fun, you could do one of these and sprinkle it all over you. A little Diamond Dust. All right, so that is a quick 5-minute look, taken just a little bit up a notch, and you can even go to town more with adding some fun colors and stuff like that. But that is what I use in keeping my products super simple to just a handful of products that all fit right inside of the brush set, which is amazing. If you haven't seen the brush set, if you don't have it, it is definitely a great price, a great collection, a great kit to put together for yourself. And you can fit so many brushes in there. Most of these brushes are all Savvy brushes. Some of the brushes are brushes that I've had that are wonderful, that I love. And simple. It comes with this little case as well. So I've got 2 foundation shades that I love and use. I've got my Diamond Dust that I love and use in here. I've got a cheek color right in here as well. Multitasker and my favorite eyeshadow, Bada Bing. Zip that up. And you can see that fits beautifully right inside the case. And then I can put my misting spray. And the lip gloss goes in my handbag. But literally everything I need, I just pocketed right here in the mineral case. So thanks for joining me to learn a little bit more about some of my tips and things that I've learned along the way. This is by no means an exhaustive list. These are just some of the things that I've found to be really helpful for me and things that I do that are quick, simple, and easy. So I hope they've helped you to just expand your thinking a little bit and to find your kind of success using the Savvy mineral colors, as well as supplements and skincare to overall give you some inside out savvy beauty.